So we are going to create a Truffula landscape that looks kind of 3D, showing space far away, closer up, and reflection in the water. This is just a quick one by another student and another example I was working on. So you can see markers work well for the top half and crayons work well for the bottom half because the reflection would look more dull and blurry. Again, here is the Dr. Seuss version of his Truffula trees, and you can do them a little differently because you're the artist. Step 1, easy, of course, because it's just a line for where the water will be under the line. So you need it to be about in the middle so there's room for a reflection. This could be the pond from the story. You can't do wrong, you just make the line. Now remember, this is the water, so when we start coloring, it won't get confused with the land, because now you're going to put a line for the background. It can be like a hill. It can start up higher or lower. There's no wrong way to do it. You can even do overlapping hills like that. So as we've been learning, when something is high up and smaller on the page, it looks farther away. And the lower it is, the more close up, and it would be bigger. So remember, the reason I said this before is this, from here down, you cannot draw the trees growing. This is the water. So I'm just going to put a little scribble of bluish color to remember that. Don't color anything yet. Don't color anything else. Now make some of your Truffula trees. They can be really curvy. You can really use your imagination and make them different than Dr. Seuss did. Maybe different colored trunk. But I'm going to just start simply with a line and another line. Okay? Cannot go wrong. Now you erase what crosses through because that is behind the tree, right? That's the hill. And that too. The puffy part will be on top. I'll do that later. So what I'd like you to do is make 4 or 5 trees depending on how they fit in your page. So if I make one like this and it's really curvy, I might not have enough room for another one. So you can see I'm making them wide, right? So when I color them in, I won't have a problem. They will be wide enough to be a tree trunk. Now think about where you want to put your faraway trees. Well, you're going to need a big puff for whatever you have on top. That's like the Truffula tree or your own version. So make sure you have room there. And then skinny and not so tall because it's far away. I have room there, right? So look for wherever you have room, maybe the middle ground, which would be medium-sized, as we spoke of many times. And I think I need to do that because, well, I want it to grow from the bottom though. The ones that grow right from the bottom will be reflected in the water. 1, 2, 3. I have 3. I think that's a good number. Whoop, this is going to be curving that way. Okay. Next, the reflection. Worry about that later. If the tree is curved a little that way, you try and do a mirror image. See, so that way and that way. And then follow the way that one is pretty much. This is a little curvier than that, but it's fine. Now this one's shorter. Oh, and which way does it go? It goes to the left, right? correct? So in the water, it would reflect that way, right? And do it about as long. And now this one, I made myself go crazy. So it has to start here and go out like as if you're drawing a heart. You have to think of it like that. And then you might not even see the puffy part. This one you will. This one you will. Oh, I guess you will. Once you have this all set up, you can start coloring the grass. I recommend coloring the grass first. And stay away from the trees because you want to color inside the trees. I already did a line for the water. That's why I said the grass first. I really meant next. But if you want to just make sure you don't do anything, any green under that line, under the water line, just do it now. Notice I'm going right over the reflection, very lightly though, because it's going to look dull. It's going to look duller later, so it's okay. Not to push hard, but just very, very, very lightly. You can please mix colors, all right? Mix colors like blue and green or whatever you like. I'm not done with that, but I just wanted to tell you from here down is more faded looking, and from here up is the bright world of Dr. Seuss, or the bright world of yours, right? So the next thing, as I said before, I would carefully color the hill, the grass, okay? I like to do it this way, so I make a line around whatever I don't want to color, and then it's a little easier to just relax, short strokes, and get every white spot, right? So you're going to do that all here, right? And then this can be a different shade of green. So maybe I'll use a crayon for that since it's far away. You decide. You are the artist. Maybe you want to make it a darker color. Maybe you want to make it a fantasy color. You know, just make it up, but I would use a thicker marker, obviously. And if you're going to stick with the Dr. Seuss kind of coloring trunks because you really want it to look like you got it from Dr. Seuss, even though you can make up your own, they're yellow with black, and make up your own puffs on top. There are different ways to make those puffs. One way is just, if you say you have the regular tree, you can simply draw a circle very lightly, very, very lightly, and then color it in. Or the way Dr. Seuss has all those curly kind of lines, you can make yours even more wild because you are the artist. He's got these little points like that, but you can be creative, right? I said it. Maybe I'll make a circle inside of a different color because I just thought of it, right? Then you color it in brightly. That's one way. Another way would be, let's just say I'm using blue. Make a dot above it. Make a T, an X. That's not all. Now you would go fill it in and just keep filling it in. And maybe you'll mix colors. Dr. Seuss did not. But you are not Dr. Seuss, are you? No, you're not. Okay? I'm just going really fast. So you could also just make it a spiral. Use your own ideas, but color it all in. All right, let's get started.